Do your hands feel older than the rest of you? Do your fingers lock up when you try to open a jar and you stand there gripping that lid, twisting, and nothing happens? And you think, when did this start? Do your legs feel heavier going up the stairs than they did even a year ago? Do you sit on the edge of the bed in the morning and feel that stiffness in your knees, that deep reluctance in your joints, like your body is asking you to negotiate before it agrees to move? And here is the question that nobody wants to answer honestly. Have you started avoiding certain movements, bending down, reaching overhead, getting off the floor? Not because you cannot do them, but because you are afraid of what might happen if you try. If you said yes to even one of those questions, I need you to stay with me for the next few minutes, because what I am about to show you is not another list of supplements to buy. It is not a cream. It is not a pill. It is a system. 8 specific foods that your body is desperately asking for. And once you understand why it is asking, everything changes. I am Dr. Harmoon. I have spent over 2 decades in clinical medicine, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that what most people call getting old is actually something far more specific and far more fixable. Your body is running out of its most critical structural protein, and nobody is telling you how to get it back. B-roll. Close-up of hands gripping a jar, struggling. Cut to someone holding a staircase railing tightly. Let me be direct. Collagen is not a beauty trend. That is how the industry sells it. Serums, face creams, expensive powders marketed to women in their 30s. But the real collagen crisis is happening inside people over 60, and it has nothing to do with skin. Collagen makes up 30% of all the protein in your body. It is the structural framework of your cartilage, your tendons, your ligaments, your blood vessel walls, and the protective sheath around your nerves. Think of collagen like the steel beams inside a building. You never see them. You never think about them. But the moment they start corroding, everything above them, walls, floors, ceilings, begins to sag, crack, and eventually collapse. After the age of 25, your body loses roughly 1% of its total collagen every single year. By the time you are 65, you have lost nearly 40% of the collagen you had at your peak. That is not a slow fade. That is a structural crisis, and it explains almost everything you have been feeling. The stiffness, the tingling in your hands, the weakness in your legs, the joints that creak and pop and resist. Your body has not betrayed you. It is starving for a building material that nobody told you to replace. Before I go any further, have you noticed tingling or numbness in your hands or feet in the last 6 months? Just type yes or not yet in the comments below. No judgment. You are not alone in this, and I want to know who I am talking to today. Now here is what most people get wrong. They hear collagen and they think they need to buy a tub of collagen powder and dump it in their coffee. That approach is not wrong, but it is incomplete, and the research tells us exactly why. Your body does not just need collagen delivered to the front door. It needs the raw materials to build collagen on site, in the tissues where the damage is actually happening. That requires 3 things working together: the foundation proteins, the activation nutrients, and the protective compounds that keep new collagen from being destroyed the moment it is made. I think of it as a construction project. The foundation proteins are your bricks and mortar. The activation nutrients are your construction crew, and the protective compounds are the security guards who keep vandals from tearing down what you just built. Miss any one of those 3 and the project stalls. B-roll, construction workers laying foundation, then securing steel beams. That is exactly why I have organized these 8 foods into a system rather than a random list. Let me walk you through each group, starting with the most important. The first group is what I call the foundation. These are the foods that deliver raw collagen and its direct building blocks, the amino acids glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, in a form your body can absorb and use immediately. The most powerful foundation food is chicken bone broth, and I do not mean the watery, pale liquid you buy in a carton at the supermarket. I mean real bone broth, the kind you make by simmering chicken bones low and slow for 8 to 12 hours with a splash of apple cider vinegar to draw the minerals out of the bone matrix. What happens during that slow simmer is extraordinary. The collagen trapped inside the bones and connective tissue breaks down into gelatin, and then further into individual amino acids that your gut can absorb directly. A study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry in 2017 confirmed that slow-simmered bone broth contains bioavailable collagen peptides, glycine, and proline in concentrations high enough to support measurable connective tissue repair. Here is how to make it part of your routine without it feeling like a chore. Save the bones from a roast chicken. Put them in a large pot with water, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, a chopped onion, 2 celery stalks, and a carrot. Simmer on the lowest heat for 8 hours. Strain it. Pour it into jars. It will gel when it cools. That gel is pure collagen. Warm half a cup each morning, squeeze in some lemon, and add a pinch of sea salt. That single cup gives your joints, your nerves, and your blood vessels the exact raw material they have been missing. And this is where everything changes, because bone broth works even better when you pair it with its close relative, gelatin fruit bites. Gelatin is collagen that has already been partially broken down, which means your body can absorb it even faster. A clinical trial published in the journal Amino Acids in 2015 found that participants who consumed hydrolyzed gelatin daily showed a 37% reduction in joint pain over a 24-week period. That is not marginal. That is the difference between dreading a flight of stairs and walking up without thinking about it. Making gelatin bites takes 5 minutes. Warm 1 cup of tart cherry juice gently on the stove. Do not boil it. Stir in 2 tablespoons of unflavored powdered gelatin until it dissolves completely. Pour the mixture into silicone molds or a shallow dish. Refrigerate until firm. What you get is a soft, easy-to-chew bite that delivers concentrated collagen precursors with every piece. The tart cherry juice adds its own benefit. It contains anthocyanins, which are anti-inflammatory compounds that reduce the oxidative damage attacking your joints while the gelatin rebuilds them. Foundation and protection in one bite. Now pay close attention to this next part, because you could eat bone broth and gelatin every single day and still not rebuild collagen if this second group is missing. I call them the spark plugs, the nutrients that activate your body's collagen manufacturing machinery. And the single most important spark plug is vitamin C. Without vitamin C, the enzyme that assembles collagen fibers physically cannot function. It is like having a factory full of parts and no electricity. Nothing gets built. Most people think of oranges when they hear vitamin C. But the real powerhouse, the food that delivers more vitamin C per bite than almost anything else on the planet, is guava. 100 grams of guava contains over 228 milligrams of vitamin C. That is nearly 4 times what you get from an orange. A study published in the journal Nutrients in 2020 confirmed that higher vitamin C intake in adults over 60 was directly associated with better collagen synthesis markers and improved joint mobility scores. Here is a simple evening ritual. Chop half a ripe guava into a bowl of plain Greek yogurt. Drizzle raw honey over the top. Add a squeeze of lime and a handful of crushed walnuts. The yogurt gives you protein, the amino acid fuel. The honey adds trace enzymes. The lime doubles your vitamin C hit, and the walnuts bring omega-3 fats that reduce the inflammation attacking your collagen while it rebuilds. That single bowl, eaten 3 times a week, can shift your body from collagen deficit to active collagen production. But guava is not the only spark plug. Kiwi delivers a concentrated dose of vitamin C alongside an enzyme called actinidin that improves protein digestion, meaning the collagen precursors from your bone broth and gelatin get absorbed more efficiently when kiwi is part of the same day's intake. Slice 2 kiwis, sprinkle toasted almonds on top for healthy fats, and add a pinch of sea salt. That is a 2-minute snack that primes your entire collagen assembly line. And cantaloupe rounds out the spark plug group with a different advantage: hydration. Collagen synthesis requires water at the molecular level. Dehydrated tissues produce brittle, weak collagen fibers. Think of it like trying to mix concrete without enough water. The powder is there, but nothing sets properly. 1 cup of cantaloupe delivers 60% of your daily vitamin C alongside a high water content that keeps your tissues hydrated during the rebuilding process. Cube it, squeeze lime over it, toss in fresh mint leaves and a handful of pistachios, and eat it as your afternoon snack. If you have made it this far, I need to ask you something. Has your doctor ever once mentioned collagen to you? Not a cream, not a supplement ad. Has a physician actually sat down and explained why your joints feel the way they feel and what specific foods could help? Type never or yes in the comments, because your answers tell me exactly how badly this information needs to reach more people. This is the part most people miss entirely. The third group is what I call the shield. Foods that protect your existing collagen from being destroyed. Because here's the reality nobody talks about. Your body is not only failing to build new collagen fast enough, it is actively destroying the collagen it still has. A process called oxidative glycation cross-links your collagen fibers and turns them from flexible, elastic structures into stiff, brittle ones. Think of a fresh rubber band versus one that has been sitting in a drawer for 10 years. Same material, but one stretches and the other snaps. That is what is happening to the collagen in your joints and your blood vessel walls every single day. Tomatoes are your first line of defense. They contain lycopene, one of the most powerful carotenoid antioxidants ever studied. A 2019 study in the British Journal of Dermatology found that lycopene supplementation reduced collagen degradation markers by 33% over 12 weeks. And here is a detail that changes everything about how you eat tomatoes. Lycopene absorption increases by up to 80% when tomatoes are consumed with fat. Slice a ripe tomato. Layer it with fresh mozzarella or avocado cubes. Drizzle extra virgin olive oil over the top. Add basil leaves and a crack of black pepper. That simple plate is a collagen preservation engine. The lycopene neutralizes the free radicals attacking your collagen fibers. The olive oil ensures the lycopene actually reaches your tissues. And the mozzarella adds proline, one of the key amino acids in collagen structure. One plate, 3 layers of protection. B-roll, slicing tomatoes, layering with mozzarella, drizzling olive oil. Now we reach the final group, the accelerator. This is the food that takes everything you have already built and amplifies it, and I saved it for last because most people will not believe me when I tell them. Dark chocolate. Real dark chocolate, 70% cacao or higher, is one of the most collagen-supportive foods in existence, and the science behind it is staggering. Cacao contains the highest concentration of flavanols of any food ever measured. Flavanols do something no other compound does as effectively. They increase blood flow to the microvasculature, the tiny capillaries that feed your joint cartilage, your skin, and your nerve sheaths. A randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of Nutrition in 2015 found that daily consumption of high flavanol cacao increased dermal blood flow by 27% and improved skin elasticity, a direct marker of collagen density, by 11% over 12 weeks. Your collagen rebuilding system can only work as fast as the blood supply delivers nutrients to the repair sites. Dark chocolate opens those delivery routes wider. Here is how you turn it into the most effective version of itself. Melt 1 ounce of dark chocolate, 80% cacao or higher. Stir in a handful of roasted almonds for their amino acid profile and a teaspoon of dried goji berries for an additional vitamin C and zeaxanthin boost. Drop spoonfuls onto parchment paper and let them set in the refrigerator. Each cluster becomes a dense packet of flavanols, amino acids, and antioxidants, the accelerator that makes every other food in this system work faster and reach deeper. And pineapple deserves its place right alongside chocolate in this group. Pineapple contains bromelain, a proteolytic enzyme that reduces inflammation at the joint level and improves the absorption of amino acids in the gut. A 2016 meta-analysis in the journal Clinical Immunology found that bromelain supplementation reduced inflammatory markers associated with joint degradation by 42%. Cut fresh pineapple into chunks. Mix with macadamia nuts or cashews for healthy fats. Add a pinch of cinnamon, which independently reduces inflammatory cytokines, and a few fresh mint leaves for digestive support. That is a snack that fights inflammation from 2 directions simultaneously. Let me put this all together for you, because understanding the system matters more than memorizing a list. Your body needs 4 things to rebuild collagen after 60. It needs the raw structural proteins. Bone broth and gelatin provide those. It needs the activation nutrients. Guava, kiwi, and cantaloupe deliver the vitamin C that powers the assembly line. It needs the protective shield. Tomatoes with healthy fats prevent your existing collagen from being destroyed. And it needs the accelerator. Dark chocolate and pineapple increase blood flow and reduce inflammation so the repair crews can reach the damage. You do not need all 8 foods every single day, but you need at least one from each group every day consistently. That is the system. Foundation, spark, shield, accelerator. Miss one group and the whole process slows down. I want you to think about one person right now, someone you care about. Your mother, your father, your partner, your neighbor who stopped going for walks because their legs hurt too much. Send them this video right now, not later, not tomorrow. You could be handing them the one piece of information that changes how they feel every single morning for the rest of their life. One share. That is all it takes. Here is what I know after 20 years of practicing medicine. The human body at 60, at 70, at 80 has not lost its ability to heal. It has lost its supply line. The construction crew is still there. The blueprint is still there. The factory is still standing. But the raw materials stopped arriving and nobody told you how to restock them. Now you know. Your joints are not failing because of your age. They are failing because of a supply shortage. And supply shortages have solutions. If you want to keep getting this kind of research-backed information, the kind your doctor does not have time to explain in a 15-minute appointment, subscribe to this channel right now. I am Dr. Harmoon, and every single video I make is designed to give you back what the medical system forgot to protect: your independence, your mobility, and your right to live without pain. I will see you in the next one.